Hi, my name's Hugh Deller and I co-run Lexical Lab, and at the moment we're in the middle of our very first summer school, and today we've just finished day one of week 2 of our 2-week English Boost course, which is a kind of high-level, intensive, general English course really focusing on developing spoken language and listening and looking at, more natural ways of saying things, how to boost your lexicon and your vocabulary and polishing up your grammar, that kind of thing. And one of the things for me that I've always really loved about teaching is the fact that as a teacher you learn a lot about the world, about your students, about the people that you're dealing with. And just a few things that I learned today from my wonderful English Boost students. Just to make a change from talking about what I was trying to teach them. So, one thing I learned was there's a Russian expression which people often use if someone sort of says, "When do you think it will happen?" And they basically want to say, it's not going to happen, it's never going to happen. And the expression translates literally into English as, when the crayfish sings on the mountain. So, when do you think England are going to win the World Cup next? When the crayfish sings on the mountain. I learned that there's plenty of computer-related vocabulary, and particularly gaming-related vocabulary, that my students know far more about than I do. I learned that one of my students, she got married quite young, and while she was at university in her second year, I think, her husband got stationed about 2 hours outside of Moscow, and she went to live with him, and she spent 2 hours commuting each way in and out of university for the year that her husband was stationed in this particular place, which sounds rather grueling. What else did I learn? I learned that there are ways that one can get out of doing military service if one really wants to. I learned that all of my students, even though some of them weren't even born when the song was released, know the song Barbie Girl by Aqua and understood why I might mention it as an example of a very catchy song. Not a song I like, not a song I've been happy to have stuck in my head for the last 25 years, but a song that once heard is almost impossible to forget. I learned that one of my students has a younger brother who's studying at a private school in a town called Wellington, which I'd never heard of, and which he bought a ticket to on the train yesterday and went down to visit his brother in. But when he got there, he found out it was the wrong Wellington. Apparently there's more than one Wellington in England, although only one of them has a train station. And he then spent the afternoon in the wrong Wellington, where he sampled the local cider, phoned his brother in hysterics, explained that he was in the wrong Wellington, and then came back to London. I learned that there's a Russian expression which translates directly as "don't lose me," as in, hey, listen, I'm going to go to Cambridge tomorrow on a day trip, so don't lose me. And after much discussion, we decided it probably means something like, so don't worry about me, okay? So, in case you're wondering, that's where I'll be. And finally, I learned, following a rather heated discussion in my classroom, that Russian perceptions and feelings about what I thought was a rather wonderful film from 2014, Russian film called Leviathan. Their perceptions and feelings about this particular film differ very wildly. So that's some of what I learned about my students in class today. I'm looking forward very much to tomorrow to see what else I'm going to learn about them. Bye.